And good Wednesday, my friends. Welcome into the Chase and Big Joe show on this day where, according to all the meteorologists, it's going to be really bad the next 4 days. But you know what? We can't control that, so we'll just live our lives as we usually do. Chase McCabe running a little bit late. He had to give a speech this morning. He's been certified on LinkedIn about cloud storage, so he does some teachings and things. And so this morning he'll be here in just a little bit. He gave a nice little speech, little testimonial about how cloud storage has kind of changed his life a little bit, and he was certified on LinkedIn, so it's all good. Ian Safar is with us. Ian, are you certified on cloud storage?
Not yet. No, I'll have to work on that certification. Where do you go for a class for that?
LinkedIn. So when you go there, make sure you post on LinkedIn so everybody could say, "Well done, Ian."
Okay, there you go. All right, I'll be sure to make a note of that.
We'll have John McClain at 9:30. Philip Forsberg will join us at the 10 o'clock hour. But first, I want to start with this. I'm a huge pop culture guy. I mean, it's 50-50 pop culture and sports. So this morning, I wake up and I see the news that Val Kilmer had passed away. I've never met Val Kilmer. I don't know Val Kilmer, but I'm upset by this. I'm hope when somebody passes away. But I mean, this was a guy in the Tombstone's on every single night. If you're on flipping around the channels, it's on every single night, and you stop every time and you watch it. And I had a discussion with a friend a long time ago about this movie, and if you remove Val Kilmer's character from Tombstone, it's still a good movie. Val Kilmer in that role as Doc Holliday makes that an extraordinary movie. That role makes it just how he portrayed it, what he did, everything made it a movie that every time you see it, you wait for his role, wait for his lines. They go on. Val Kilmer passed away at 65 years old. Of course, one of my all-time favorite movies, Real Genius, that he was in. He did Top Secret, which was a very funny movie based off the guys who did Airplane created that. So it's Top Secret, Real Genius, and of course Top Gun. He was in the Top Gun, the Maverick that came out a couple of years ago. So anyway, it's just I don't know. You watch these guys so much, they become like a part of your youth, and so the fact that Val Kilmer passed away is something else. And I'm telling you, man, Tombstone, it'll be on again tonight, and it's on all the time. But he also in the movie Heat with Pacino and De Niro was so good. He was Ashley Judd's husband in that movie. And it was just the roles he did was something else. I know he's battling throat cancer for years, and then he passed away this morning. So we'll play some clips from some Tombstone throughout the day to get things fired up and just to kind of remember what a great actor that Val Kilmer was as well. Did you catch the animation last night of the Nashville Predators? They lost 8-4.
Saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
Too
bad the game didn't turn out a little bit better.
Could it have been any worse for the Predators?
I don't know. Probably not. 8-4. Yeah.
8-4, right?
Yeah.
And then Columbus trolls the Predators on X or Twitter, whatever, last night. I think it was a really bad night. Bad night for the Nashville Predators, because you got the whole animation thing was going on. A lot of eyeballs on there, and it was just bad. 8-4. Preds on the road against Dallas Thursday and back home this weekend. But
season's coming to a close here.
Thank God.
Coming down the stretch. It's been a little bit rough lately. So,
right?
I mean,
how do you get motivated for this? It's
got to be tough.
It has to be tough. Yeah. And don't text and say, well, they're getting paid millions, they should do all that. I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but I do know when you're out of it and there's nothing to play for, it is tough.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, especially for some of those guys, considering where they are in their career.
Yeah.
And what they were expecting going into the season. And they're not used to playing out, seasons like this. Stamkos and Marchessault and Shea. Those guys are used to coming down, playing very competitive games.
Yep.
Especially down the stretch, right? Heading into the playoffs. They're trying to gear up, not gear down. So a little bit of a flip-flop for them.
Look at you, Ian. I like this. Well done. Did you ever get compliments in the afternoon when you did that?
Oh, sure.
Backhanded compliments for years with Stillman. Anyway, I think they're down to seven
games.
7 games.
Yeah.
I expected a parade. I wanted a parade in June. After you tell me July 1st last year, you got Stamkos and Shea and everybody else.
They have the third worst points in the league. So that means they have they're up there as possible first top lottery pick, top 3,
right?
Based on the odds. So hopefully nothing crazy happens and
right.
they end up dropping all the way to like pick number 8,
which could
happen.
Yeah,
but
yeah, hockey's so much different than NFL because sometimes these guys you don't see for years to get to the big leagues. Whereas NFL, if you get a first rounder, he better contribute. He better start.
Oh yeah,
immediately. If your first round pick is not starting, there's a problem that goes with that.
Definitely.
Which leads us into 22 days away from the NFL draft. I mean, I tell you, every time I hear the name Cam Ward, I need to have a shock buzzer on me. It's just because, I mean, you're hearing it so much and everything and what they're going to do and what's going to happen. Nobody knows. I still don't think they take Cam Ward with the first pick. I think they trade back and gobble up. That's just me. That's what I would do. Nobody's asking me.
You just wonder how much of a normal first overall pick haul, if it's not going to be your normal, bunch of first round pick to drop down,
right?
How little are they willing to take to move out?
You're right. And that's the thing. I don't think it's going to be the Giants. I think there's a surprise team that's going to make an offer
to go all the way up to 1.
All the way up to 1. And not necessarily take a quarterback. Just to get that pick and maybe take Abdul Carter.
Wild.
Or
yeah.
Travis
Hunter.
Or Travis Hunter.
I kind of like Travis Hunter.
Why is he not being talked about more?
Because people don't value corner as a premium position.
That guy's an athlete. I agree with Joe Rexford on that. Just if the Titans walked up and said Travis Hunter, I'd be all right. Let's go.
I would not hate it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think a team is going to make some offer to the Titans in those last 48 hours, and they're going to say, oh my goodness, let's do that. I do not think it's that cut and dry that they're going to take Cam Ward and go for it. They know they have so many holes to fill, and you gobble up draft choices for now. Don't build for 26 or 27. Nobody cares. You're building for right now. So go forward and do that and get it done. We'll have a lot of talk with this with John McClain when he joins the show at 9:30 today about what's happening and what's going on. The owners' meetings just wrapped up down in Florida. And while the new rules that are going on, the rules that were tabled, I mean, some of the ideas that were put aside down the road with the whole tush push thing, which to me is just a whole lot of nothing. Either you say, look, you're going to outlaw it or you're not going to let it happen. And then off of that, you got to say, what do you do when a runner's stumbling and you help him down the field? That's the same thing to me as a tush push. You're helping the runner advance the ball. So is that illegal now? I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing I've been thinking about with the tush push, as far as most people try to, if they're against it, they claim it's some type of injury concern, because of the whole massive bodies there.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I'm just wondering if everyone's convinced that a bad injury is going to occur from the play, which we don't really know for sure will happen. We just assume is going to happen. So I'm a little bit confused on that. It hasn't really been proven that's going to happen. They're just assuming it is. But if it is a safe assumption that a major injury is going to occur,
right?
Why wait for the injury to happen and then ban the play?
Sure. All right. So why don't we ban receivers coming across the middle?
Well, because to a degree, they have to almost.
And Ian Safar's coming across the middle. I'm taking you out.
Yeah.
And there's an injury there. I mean, hell, you had a guy paralyzed in the National Football League because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that not being It's football. It is a violent sport, and we talk about this all the time. Everybody knows that, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, even Brett Kern, former Titans punter, said yesterday. Was it yesterday? Monday. That he, even as a punter, is under the assumption that, hey, if you play, you're going to get hurt.
Right.
So there's no position that can be unscathed.
I 100% agree with you.
I don't know. Part of me is just like, okay, well, if we're convinced because they've done that with the safeties, like you can't really hit wide receivers. I mean, technically you can.
Yeah.
But you're going to get suspended or you're going to be heavily fined.
You are. And I tell people, football right now has never been as safe as it is right now. With the new padded helmets and teaching kids how to tackle differently without their heads, football has become a lot more safe than it has in years past. I mean, you'd get dumped on your head. I mean, you get hit late. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. They've done a good job of making it safer from the fact of you get the fines for late hits, you get ejections, you get penalties. And what was the guy we had on a guy? He said the quickest way to a professional player's mind is through his pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get their attention and do all that. Well, look who is here, fresh off is another speaking engagement of talking about LinkedIn cloud storage, our very own Chase McCabe.
Hello.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you so much.
Did you have any idea when you got certified on LinkedIn for cloud storage, you would be as popular as you are?
No, I didn't. I never thought I'd ever be popular in my life.
Well, you need to go on LinkedIn and put in that you just now, because of your LinkedIn cloud storage, you're doing much better.
I just, would love to thank the Twice Daily on, on Charlotte Pike and, for having me there to speak. So it was
nice. Great. I love that, man. I mean, impromptu, kind of like a pop-up little meeting that you had.
And then I would like to thank the people of Nashville and the people, especially from probably California, for moving here, for making traffic absolutely terrible.
Don't you blame it on them, buddy.
So, and shout out to Metro's finest that are out today, because I guess you're wanting to, beat the weather.
Are you that storm that's going to come in and take us all away? Are you worried about that?
I'm a little concerned about it.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No. Are you concerned about things you can't control?
No, I mean, I'm not like, I mean, I know I can't control it, but yeah, I am. I'm like, okay, it might get a little rowdy.
Rowdy. We started the show off about Val Kilmer passing away, of course, iconic. And my question to you is, and for our audience, they will have, I want your thoughts on this. Is Val Kilmer's role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone the greatest acting historical role of all time? Is there another historical figure acting that was better than that? You're going to laugh. Kurt Russell as Elvis Presley in the late 70s was perfect. So I want to know what other acting role of a historical figure was the greatest of all time.
Who was it that played I should know the answer to this, and I'm just blanking. Lincoln in
he had three names. Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, was he Lincoln?
The one with Spielberg's Lincoln?
That was it.
Yeah. Okay, he was really good.
He was good in that.
Yeah.
Did you like Barry Pepper as Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
He did a good job, yeah. I wouldn't say that's the best of all time, but he did a good job, yeah.
I thought he did a really good job. Yeah.
The guy that played Waltrip was really good.
Right? He was good in that. It's very good.
So,
but that's the thing, is that you think about these historical roles and,
here's the thing about Val Kilmer. Extremely underrated Batman.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. He was Batman, Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever. And I like it's different because it's not dark and it's like a little more mainstream, unlike the other two with Michael Keaton.
Right.
I liked it, and I thought he was an underrated Batman.
Who was the bad guy in that one?
That was Two-Face. No, that was hang on.
The Jim Carrey?
Yeah, it was. It was Two-Face and
Jim Carrey. Yep.
Yeah, Jim Carrey and Tommy
the
Lee
Riddler.
Jones.
The Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey is the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face.
When did that come out? 92?
95, yeah. The soundtrack for that movie was awesome too. So
was that the Seal song?
Yeah, Kiss from a Rose. Yeah.
So was
Poison Ivy, was that one in there?
No,
too?
that was Batman and Robin. That was the next one.
Was that Clooney?
Clooney, yeah.
And that was Mr. Freeze Schwarzenegger in that? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl.
Wow.
Chris O'Donnell was Robin. Yeah, we might need Kiss from a Rose on her grave today, Ian. Because that soundtrack is awesome.
It is.
All right. We are up and running on this Wednesday. I heard you tease John McClain at 9:30, Philip Forsberg at 10:15.
Yeah.
So looking forward to those conversations and much more.
Much more. Will you ever do a podcast on your LinkedIn storage vacation?
Yes.
Because I think it's important.
Yes, I will.
Because cloud storage, I mean, it's like above our head, right? Where things go.
Yeah, where all the storms are right now. So 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. We will get to your calls and texts. Adam in Portland, you'll be up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Or to be in bed. What the hell are you doing this for anyway?
Wild Earp is my friend.
Yeah, well, I got lots of friends.
I don't. Oh, Johnny, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now. Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Val Kilmer from Tombstone. Very, very good. Also, as somebody on our text line pointed out here, Chasing Big Joe, he also played Jim Morrison in The Doors. That was an early role for him, I think.
Yeah, he did Jim Morrison so well that the remaining members of The Doors, when they heard the sound of a recording, they thought it was Jim Morrison. It was actually Val Kilmer.
Wow.
So well done with that.
That is pretty cool. Real quick, let's get to this tweet. Teron Davenport put this out about 38 minutes ago, and I want to see your thoughts on it.
Sure.
The Titans will have defensive coordinator Denard Wilson, GM Mike Borgonzi, wide receiver coach Tyke Tolbert, among others, at Colorado's Pro Day on Friday, but not Chad Brinker and not Brian Callahan. They've already done extensive work on Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. They'll see Sanders at a private workout on April 9th.
Interesting.
I mean, that kind of tells me everything I need to know. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
That's what I think. I mean, I get it. You've done work on him, you've seen film, all that stuff. But like, why are you going to go to one guy's pro day and take literally everyone to the pro day, and then this one, we'll just send a few people.
That is interesting. I'm not looking too much into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. Because I'm convinced they're not taking Cam Ward. I don't think they're taking him one.
Because you think they're ultimately going to get a trade package.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think they know that. And I just think they're like all going to the smoke screen and all that. I think if they go up there and say number one pick, Cam Ward, I think 75% of Titans fans will be disappointed.
Well, I mean, I think 90% of Titans fans stay disappointed.
True, but I don't know who wants him. There's not an overwhelming we want him.
Well, I don't think there's really that for anybody. That's the problem with
Caleb Williams there was?
Right, but I'm talking about this draft.
Oh, okay. Well,
like there is not a in every sense of the true word of 1-1, that guy is not in this draft.
Then don't take him. Then just don't take.
But you have to make a pick. I mean, I'm not saying Titans do, but somebody has to go first overall.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So trade out of it. I was telling Ian earlier. We talked. You and I went like, who would be the team to trade up? What if a team trades up to want Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter and not Cam Ward?
Yeah. I mean, look. What if the Titans just shock us all and take one of those guys 1 overall?
I just trade it. Get as much as you can.
I'm not okay. So
go forward.
Do you think today on April 2nd, 23 days out from the first round, do the Tennessee Titans know who they're going to select if they keep the pick at 1-1?
Yeah.
You think they know?
I think they know. Yeah. I think but I don't think they want that. I really don't. It's just, I'm telling you, man, there's just something there that they're going to say, okay. Then whoever trades up could take a Travis Hunter and give up some draft capital they've got built up.
Well, I do know this. They are playing it right in the sense of, we know who we want. We're really going to have to be blown away if you want us to trade off that pick. Like, you got to sell that, because that's exactly what you should do, where you want the Giants or whoever to back the truck up and go, all right, we'll give you 2 firsts in a second and all this. We'll overpay to get that pick, even though I don't really think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think you got to sell it like you really, really, really want Cam Ward.
Fisher said here in our studio when the Rams acquired the number 1 pick, and he said, yeah, we knew we wanted Goff. He goes, but we had teams calling us at the last second, offering us this and that. So it's happening for the Titans. And the closer it gets to the draft, it's going to be more and more ramped up. I just think somebody's going to come to them with an offer. They're going to sit back and say, we can't pass on this. We can't. We're going to take this and go with that. I just think, to me, you get Cam Ward, you're not building for the future because you're going to fire Callahan next year when you go 3-14 with the same team and you're starting all over again. But if you can gobble up 5 or 6 extra draft choices with the ones you've got, get about 11, 12 new guys in here, and to say, look, we're building all these pieces around, and then I hate to say, I mean, you throw out Levis again and let him. I don't know. I know that sounds terrible, but you're still building around everybody, and then go from there. Man, that's a death stare you got on me right there.
I'm just listening intently.
Sorry, what, had something wrong?
No,
Good Lord.
Just listening intently. But yeah, you're right. Real quick, I know Adam in Portland wanted to weigh in on the tush push. Adam, what's up?
Yeah, also, Chase, not to undersell it, cloud storage is super important. And if Joe's making digs at it, like your hyper-converged infrastructure journeyman may lead you to like a $500,000 job selling it one day. You never know. So, like, yeah, it's a very important thing.
Well, no, hold on. I'm not making digs. I'm proud of him. I mean, he went out on a limb and got this. Where are you gonna put it?
LinkedIn? I'm like, that's killer, man. Like he's leveling up, baby. That's killer. All right, so the tush push. I think. Look, if I had a quarterback that squatted 1,200 pounds, I would love to run that play all the time. But I think the fix, instead of taking it away, is just declare it. Declare you're going to do it and do it. Then these guys don't have to worry about you rolling out, because you always, no matter what, have to worry about the quarterback rolling out. So you can't truly put everybody up there to stop it. But if you declared it, then it's a real rugby play at that point. It's your guys versus our guys. So I think that would fix it.
Okay. Appreciate the call, Adam. Leave it alone. That's what I say.
For now,
just leave it alone.
Try to stop it and and do it.
I mean, I don't want to see anybody get hurt or career-ending injury from it or whatever. But I mean, just leave it alone. Like there's 16. Apparently, there's 16 teams that do it better than 16 others.
Right.
That's what I'm understanding based on how people feel about it. But we'll talk to John McClain about that and so much more. He joins us next here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe on this Wednesday, 102.5-106.3 The Game. Let's say hello to our man John McClain, who's on the line with us. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Always enjoy these conversations. I want your take. It seems to be the biggest conversation at the owners' meetings. It's something they're not even going to vote on right now, and that is the brotherly shove, better known as the tush push. It, according to reports, 16 teams are against it, so that's half the league. Where do you stand on it?
I think it's a coward's way out, and all that whining and crying and complaining by teams that aren't good enough to stop it is preposterous. As somebody said, if these guys had been in business when Johnny Unitas came out and was throwing the ball down the field in the late 50s and early 60s, they would want the forward pass outlawed. So I think it's ridiculous, and I think the way it's going to get done, they're not going to say they're going to abolish the tush push. They're going to say they're going to go back to the old rule that you can't help another player move the ball forward. And that would eliminate the tush push, but I think it's ridiculous. If you can't stop it, learn to stop it. Where does it end? What's the next thing they won't be able to do? But I am totally against it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just, you don't like something, then stop it. Don't try and abolish it.
Chase, this bull BS about Green Bay saying, well, you could get hurt. It leads to injuries. Show us some evidence. I don't remember people being carted off the field after they were smothered at the bottom of a pile. I tell people, show.
No, John's.
Yeah.
We lost you there for a second, John. You're kind of fading in and out.
I'm fading because I'm driving.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
There you are. You're back.
There's no statistical evidence that shows there's more injuries created by the tush push. The NFL doesn't care about injuries. If they did, they wouldn't be adding an 18th game.
Exactly. It's selective when it comes to those things. Some other rules that were approved, the overtime rule. Basically, they're going to adopt what happens in the postseason. It'll still be a 10-minute period, but both teams will get a possession. What do you think about that?
I like it. I think it's unfair that there was a rule that did not allow both teams to get it. Some think it'll result in more ties by the first team, use most of the clock, and kick a field goal or score a touchdown, not leave enough time on the clock. So I wish they'd gone back to 15. I never liked the reduction to
10. John McClain is with us here on the program.
John, we keep hearing about Cam Ward Titans, on and on and on. I mean, is it pretty much locked in stone now when everybody's on the same page that he's coming here? We can talk about a scenario where maybe a team trades up the number one, John, that doesn't need a quarterback so they can take Travis Hunter. But basically anything can happen between now and the draft, right?
Right, but it's not going to. I've been telling you guys since the end of the season, they're going to take a quarterback, and then when Cam Ward separates himself, they're going to take Cam Ward.
Pretty simple, and pull him in here. Now, with the second pick, do you have to start building around him? Do you need to take a receiver? Would that be appropriate for what this is? Because right now he's basically got one guy to throw to.
I think wide receiver, as you guys know, you don't have to take them in the first round. The Hall of Fame is loaded with receivers not taken in the first round. Here, Nico Collins, third round. Tank Dell, third round. Stephon Diggs was here, fifth round. You don't need to take them in the first, but yes, I would think. And when you get in the second round, there's going to be a lot of receivers who are worthy. And of course, you got to pick one that you hope can step in and contribute as a rookie. And you certainly don't want another Treylon Burks.
Oh, absolutely not. John, when Bud was down in Houston on draft, did he have to approve every single draft choice? He is the owner. It is his team. I understand that. but did they run every draft pick, at least in the first, through Bud?
Bud didn't have to approve anything like that. They would tell him, this is what we're going to do, and he'd say, okay. The only time that I remember Bud flexing his muscles was on Vince Young. And the reason was he saw how popular Vince was in Houston, how everybody wanted the Texans to take Vince. And the Texans were never taking Vince, but Bud has always listened to talk shows. He's always read the papers, and he saw which way the wind was blowing. So he wanted Vince. And he told Floyd Reese and Jeff Fisher, if you don't get him, I'll get coach and GM up there at will. So that's how Vince ended up. And I didn't remember interviewing Bud. And I said, so you're telling me VY is your guy? And he said, yes. So that was good enough for a quote for me.
VY is my
Bud
guy.
and said, VY is my guy.
Oh, yes.
And it caught on.
Well, it was something, I remember all that with 06. There was the Cutler and then Matt Leinart and VY that did that. How much do you think Amy's involved, John? I know that's kind of a hypothetical out there. We don't know for sure, but how much you think she's involved? I mean, after all, she is her father's daughter.
Now, Amy, they'll tell her what they're doing with the first pick, and I think that's about it. She doesn't get into that. She's given Brinker total control. He's hired a new GM. They all work together, and they're all have signed off on it. You can't force a player down a head coach's throat because the head coaches have control on game day, and if you've given them somebody they don't want, they're not going to play them. And so that's why you got to make sure Brian Callahan is on board, and he is. And, of course, they'll let Amy know what they're going to do with it. But it's not like she's not saying, CW is my guy. And that's not the way it works.
John McClain is with us. How much should we read into that with Colorado's Pro Day coming up Friday? Mike Borgonzi, the GM, the defensive coordinator, the wide receivers coach, they're all going, but the head coach and Chad Brinker are not going because they've, quote, done a lot of prep work on both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. They're also going to have a private workout with Sanders coming up on, I think it was April 9th. Should we read anything into that, or is that just whatever?
It's just whatever. Gary Kubiak never liked to go to pro days. He was more interested in face-to-face sit-downs so he could talk to a player. He said, I can get every throw made in a season at Senior Bowl practices, pro days, every throw made I can get on tape. It's like private workouts. They tape them. And that's the best thing because the team controls the private workout and not the player. And they're doing their due diligence, and that's great that they are because Colorado's got other players, of course. But Brian Callahan does not have to be there because he can have everything put right in front of him anytime. And if they wanted to do a last-minute visit, like Bill Belichick came to Vanderbilt right before the draft when Zach Cunningham was available. And Zach Cunningham had a great workout, and it never came out publicly till after the draft, I think. It may have been Zach that told the story. So you'll see things like that. They don't get out much, although today more and more stuff gets out because the agents, they want to make their clients look good. But Bill Belichick's there working out somebody a few days before the draft. They had really high hopes for that prospect.
Oh, absolutely they did. John, if they take Cam Ward, does it mean an extension for Brian Callahan? Because the last thing you want, John, is to start this again next year with a new coach and a coordinator and everything else. Does Callahan get a little leeway, you think, if they take Cam Ward? Because you'll need time to work with him.
Not after 1 year, Joe. No way they're giving a coach an extension. And extensions don't mean squat. The owners have so much money. If they got to pay off a coach, how many guys have you seen? And I'll give you 2 examples. Romeo Cornell in Kansas City had a 10-6 season. They extended him for 5 years, fired him with 4 left. John Gruden got a 5-year extension. He and Bruce Allen, GM, fired after 1 year. The Texans at one point were paying like 4 general managers and coaches, and I said, can I get a little of that? I'm doing more for this franchise than all those guys are doing right now because they're not doing squat, and you're paying them millions. So owners think, the media thinks a lot about that. Owners don't think anything about it. They do it begrudgingly, but they still have to pay. And money that we consider a lot is not a lot to them.
We'll have more with John McClain coming up next here on the Chasing Big Joe Show, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Wednesday, continuing our discussion with John McClain here on the program. And John, I feel like at least once a year we have to have some sort of Titans uniform discussion with you. But the Titans announcing last week they're going to switch to, quote, Titans blue, which is basically very similar to the Columbia blue, Love Ya blue. That they're going to wear that primarily. They're not going to wear the Oilers throwback. What do you think about this?
Well, first of all, I'm disappointed. They're not going to wear the Oilers throwbacks because I love those uniforms. I love seeing the logo, and I look forward to that. Now, I'm probably the Lone Ranger in Houston because it infuriated everybody except former Oiler players who said years ago, if the only place they can see it is the Titans wearing it, they're all for it because it was popular and people talked about it around the league. Now, the thing that always kills me is like the Astros and Rangers, they have a great rivalry. They played for the World Series and they hate each other. And the Texans and Titans have never been good enough at the same time to play for anything, to go to the playoffs, to go to the Super Bowl. So we got uniform wars. And if that's all we got, it's all we got. And that's Columbia blue. And I love to tell the story in '87 when they expanded the Astrodome by 7,500 seats. And Bud Adams at the news conference was talking about the new suites, and they were called Columbia Suites. And he called it Colombian Suites. And I asked him, does that include cocaine with the tickets? And he didn't understand, of course, that I was talking about Colombian. But I mean, he's the one that called it that. And it was so funny. And so I can't wait to see, should be the Nashville blue versus the H-Town blue, because that's what they call the Columbia blue that they put in the Texans uniforms last year. H-Town blue. And they had a video with Bruce Matthews narrating, talking about, you'd think that the Allen brothers that founded Houston 200 years ago were wearing Columbia blue when they came up Buffalo Bayou, because the Texans made it sound like Houston's had those colors way before the Oilers in 1960.
John McClain is with us. Do you think that this is the part of the reason they're doing this? Because they've done it before. Like, it's been the primary uniform before. Do you think that part of the reason is Amy wants to do this is because then it keeps Houston from using it as their primary color?
Oh, I think that's probably has something to do with it. Mainly, when you do some money, they want people to buy it. Just like the Texans changed their uniforms last year, they wanted people to buy it. The NFL wants them to buy it. And so it's all about the dollar.
Talking to John McClain this morning on the Chasing Big Joe show. John, in 2014, the Texans drafted Jadeveon Clowney at #1 overall. What do you remember about that? And was there other teams flying offers at the Texans, and were the Texans pretty steadfast that Clowney was going to be their guy?
In New York, I remember that day, Peter King at Sports Illustrated came out with his mock draft. He had him taking Khalil Mack, and said a source close to the general manager told him. And that day I had him taking Clowney. And I remember a bunch of writers walking back to the to where the draft was held at Radio City Music Hall from an event where the players had been doing a thing for charity. And several of them stopped me while we were waiting at a light and said, are they taking Clowney or Khalil Mack? And I said, guys, I wrote today they're taking Jadeveon Clowney, and I'm sticking to it. And I never asked Peter King who told him that. But it was a big deal because Clowney, as you guys know, was a generational player. But the problem was he blew out his knee, microfracture, as a rookie, and had to have subsequent surgeries. And he's still in the league, but he's never had double-digit sacks So was he worth first overall pick? No, but it wasn't because of his ability. It was because of all the serious knee surgeries he had. And eventually he became great. He was always a better run player. But people in Houston were so fired up to get the number one overall prospect that they didn't reach for anybody.
Yeah, I just think again, number one pick, people to come after you left and right. I was looking this up, John, for the Texans in 2014, all the draft choices, they've only drafted 5 Pro Bowlers since 2014, which goes to show you, I mean, you just don't know what you got to get them in camp and see how they go from there. We could talk all day about how somebody great is, but until they show up and you see what they can do, it's really a crapshoot, is it not, for the draft?
Absolutely. Not at times the player. It's not the player. It's the system. It's the coaching. It's the owner changing coaches. So you draft a guy because he fits what you're doing. Then all of a sudden you're not doing the same thing that you drafted him for. So I would say at least half the time it's the team's fault.
He is John McClain. Real quick on the throwback uniform stuff, I think the NFL should do a true throwback weekend. Every team, and then I know Houston, there'd be a little difficult, but every team wear a throwback uniform. You have the old throwback NFL logo, have the refs wear old stuff. You can do TV production that way. I think it would be really cool if they did a dedicated throwback weekend.
I think that is a great idea. They should do it because some of those throwbacks are better than the current, which are throw up, not throw back. And fans a lot of times wish they were wearing those old uniforms. When we're talking about the Rams, we're talking about the Chargers, the Broncos. There's a lot of them, but that is a great idea, Chase.
I'd love to see it. John, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk next week.
Guys, thank you very much as always.
Absolutely. John McClain joining us here on the Chase and Big Joe show. They'd make so much money on it too.
Oh, they
selling
would.
Jerseys.
And John doing a little donut run around Houston this morning.
I don't know.
Just left Planet Fitness. Gonna go get something to eat, hang out, and have himself a good day around there.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't bring up cloud storage to John.
We did not. No.
About is this where the NFL should look to kind of put their stuff in?
No,
the cloud?
put that would have
eye in the sky.
Eye in the sky. Yeah. They should have done that.
I mean, it's not physically a cloud, right? I mean, it's cloud storage.
Not sure.
Some people have texted in and have said the Titans should make their primary uniforms basically the Oilers, but use the sword logo instead of the oil derrick. So be the Titans, but look like the Oilers.
I'm all on board with that.
I'd like it.
Anything that could piss off another fan base. When I have nothing invested in that,
they look cool. That. It's just I don't really have any connection to the Oilers or Houston.
Right. And I mean, that was
that's where it's tricky. Like, they look cool and it does make you feel like you're, a 90s kid again watching the NFL. But to me, like, I don't want to buy anything that has, like, I don't care to buy anything that has to do with the Oilers.
Well, not only that, when the Browns moved to Baltimore, they left all the Cleveland stuff behind.
Right.
And became like this.
And Houston feels like that the Titans should have done the same.
Yeah, like he's moved on, but it's the same friend. And Earl Campbell even said years ago, like, no offense, I have nothing in common with Nashville.
Right.
With the time, I don't. I was an Oiler, and that's fine. I think we make way too much out of this, which is whatever. But since '97, the team has been here, and so now it'll be the 29th season coming up, I guess. You could Susan's right, yeah. So,
I mean, I would have been fine. Yeah, I know.
They've been here longer in Nashville than they were in Houston. 60 to 96 is 27 seasons. 97 to 25 coming up.
That McGavick math is
right.
Is wrong.
No, you count seasons. 60, 61, 62.
I know. Right.
That's 27 to 96.
That's 30.
60 to 96. Am I wrong on this?
Yeah.
Jesus. It's your fault, Ian, because you're so handsome.
Ian, can you help me out here? That's 30.
That is 30, I believe.
36.
Yes.
All right, I'm done. I'll see you guys next week.
You were ready to fight, too.
I was mad. And that McGavick math did come through. How did I miss that? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm
sitting there
done.
going like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right. But we're getting no, we're not even forget it.
Well,
See what they've done to me because I'm tired of talking about Cam Ward. You look for other things.
You know what you should do? Go in the kitchen and have some Twice Daily and White Bison coffee because they brought us some today.
Okay.
It's very yummy.
Yeah. $5 breakfast combos at Twice Daily. Here's a deal you don't want to miss. Get any breakfast sandwich, crispy tater rounds, and a medium fountain drink or coffee for just $5 any time of the day. You can join the Twice Daily Rewards program to unlock special discounts, savings, enter into Twice Daily sweepstakes, and so much more. Twice Daily, fresh all day. Hour number 2 coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game on this Wednesday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Keep an eye to the sky as the weather is supposed to get pretty bumpy later. Possible tornadoes, hail, all those things. So keep it right here. We'll keep you abreast of the situation as the day goes along. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Joe, the text line is having fun at your expense.
Please,
after your
I'm all here for it.
Your math faux pas.
God.
Viking Matt said this is why they defunded the Department of Education.
Oh, yes.
8395 says literally started counting on his fingers.
I did. I did. Oh, man. Oh, God.
Hair Metal Henry said twice daily. With Joe's math, it's 5 times daily. Patrick says, hey, Joe, can you make change for a $10 bill? You give me a 20 and keep the 10. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Keep them coming.
That is good stuff.
Oh, yes.
Reset. Philip Forsberg going to join us in about 10 minutes. Resetting our question of the day.
Val Kilmer has passed away, the great actor, and his role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, which I think is the greatest portrayal of a historical figure. Is it the greatest portrayal of a historical figure in cinema that we've ever seen? I told Pete earlier, Kurt Russell, when he did Elvis in the late 70s, was amazing. But, how many times have we done the line from Tombstone?
Yeah.
I mean, that movie that's on every single night, but we walk
Which
in
line?
like, yeah, exactly. You know what's funny about that
I'll
movie?
be your Huckleberry.
You remember the casino dealer that Kurt Russell and them slap? You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Billy Bob Thornton. He weighed like
really?
150 pounds more than he is now, and they're slapping him around. And so it's, I don't know. Ian, can you play the our little Val Kilmer tribute here? This is for Val Kilmer.
Blood!
I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game.
Or to be in bed. What the hell are you doing this for anyway?
Wide Up is my friend.
Yeah, well, I got lots of friends.
I don't. Oh, Johnny, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now. Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Very, very well done. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a sad day. I mean, he was great in Top Gun, real genius, Top Secret, The Saint, Heat. Just
The Doors.
Yeah, why do I keep forgetting The Doors?
Top Gun.
Yeah.
You said that already.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where, like, I never met him, never saw him, but these movies were iconic to us growing up, and it just, I don't know, it sucks.
Supposedly he didn't want to do Top Gun originally. And then I guess agreed to do it, and it was probably a really good decision.
Right?
It's one of the best movies ever.
Really good decision to do that.
Can you think of a character in a movie that you start off just hating, like thinking he's just the biggest jerk in the world, and you just like screw Iceman, and then by the end you're like, yeah, now they're buddies?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm sure there are.
I'll be your wingman anytime, Maverick.
Yeah, for all those. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of somebody in the Shawshank that you couldn't stand, but no, the guys were all likable. No, I don't. That's a good one. I mean, even his role in Heat, when he was just a bad man, was a very likable role that he portrayed. Yeah. But I don't know. And that's just, I don't know. I mean, Tombstone, I'm sure will be on tonight somewhere again.
Let's see. Jordan in Nashville, 2 historic performances I liked were Chadwick Boseman as Jackie Robinson in 42, and is it Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
Oppenheimer.
That's right. That's a good one. That's a good point. I forgot about that.
We had another one earlier. Let's see. I've lost some of these. Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. He was okay.
Her as June was pretty good.
Reese Witherspoon as June Carter was the best one in that movie, I think. And then whoever played
Joaquin Phoenix was pretty good.
He was good.
And I think between the dislike you have for Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator combined with like some of the roles he did, like I think it just showed how good of an actor I think he is.
He is versatile. And like what was the movie where he goes on Letterman and he's filming the movie on Letterman and acting all like coked out and stuff. And like Dave's like, what the hell's going on? And it turns out it was for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forget that one.
And Letterman was pissed.
Awkward. Very awkward. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty crazy. But like he did that. I mean, he's done the Joker. He's been a lot of different things. So he is a versatile actor. But whoever played Jerry Lee Lewis in Walk the Line was also really good. Because I thought he
yeah, well, Dennis Quaid did it in the original Great Balls of Fire and was fantastic in that role.
But in whoever played him in Walk the Line,
I don't remember.
He had the great line, "We're all going to hell. We're all going to hell for the songs we singing." Like I laugh at that every time. So yeah, keep these coming. 615-737-1025. Hair Metal Henry says George C. Scott is General George S.
There
Patton.
we go. That's a winner. He's right. That's a great movie. My goodness.
Oh, Patton's awesome. Daniel Day-Lewis is Abraham Lincoln. Austin Butler as Elvis was amazing. That's a good one. Dustin in Hopkinsville says Joker and Joker 2 worst movies ever.
Pretty bad. Joker was awful.
Like some of the other history movies. I guess it's not a movie, but like Saving Private Ryan. I don't know. No one really stands out in that kind of stuff as far as like top actor. Tom Hanks and
Tom was
but I don't know, that kind of stuff. Just some other lists.
What about
Barry Pepper's in that movie?
What about Tom Hanks as Walt Disney?
I didn't see it.
When he Walt Disney?
He's also Mr. Rogers.
I did not see that either.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, he was. He was a Mr. Rogers.
But I mean, they were good. But I mean, they got to be extraordinary. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday was extraordinary. It's so well done. So I mean, it's going to George C. Scott is on that level. So Hair Metal Henry finally got something correct in his life besides marrying a beautiful woman.
Joey from Bellevue said John C. Reilly is Dewey Cox in Lockhart.
That is such an underrated, funny movie too. To do all that, I don't know. It's just I know we're missing a couple out there.
1382 said Lou Diamond Phillips is Richie Valens.
Yes, La Bamba.
Yeah,
that was great. That was a great role.
That was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yep, 1987 or 8. Esau Morales was his brother. It's that awful scene when the mom hears about the plane crash and he goes out to the backyard and hugs the brother. I mean, it's an emotional scene. But yeah, that's a great one. You know, we laugh. Gary Busey did Buddy Holly in the late 70s, early 80s. And I'm telling you, he was nominated for an Oscar, I think. But if you've not seen that movie, I mean, Gary Busey was perfect as Buddy Holly. Really well done.
Liam Neeson is Oscar Schindler.
Oh, yeah.
Schindler's List is. We've said this before. Anytime we have a discussion like this, there's always give the list like 5 movies that you would require somebody to watch.
Yep.
Schindler's List is probably on.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So keep these coming. We'll get back to these a little later in the show. But coming up next, Philip Forsberg going to join us here on the program as the Predators are close to wrapping up their season. And you can have your chance to win tickets to a Preds game by listening to Robbie and Rexroad tomorrow morning for Preds Pick to Click. All you have to do is guess a goal scorer, and if they put the puck in the back of the net, you will win. Be listening tomorrow morning for the cue to call on Robbie and Rexroad. Philip Forsberg next, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Wednesday. Predators will be back in action tomorrow night down in Dallas as they will take on the Dallas Stars. We say hello now to the great and talented Filip Forsberg, who's on the line with us. Phil, how you doing?
Doing great, Chase. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. I want to start with something kind of fun. Last night was the animated game on News Channel 5. Clearly, you couldn't watch it. You were a little busy. You were playing the game. But as someone that has a young son now that would be into those things, like how cool is it to see not only the Predators, but the NHL use this type of technology to get a younger audience?
No, I think that's great. I think that's something that certainly is going to help the game going forward. But I was a little disappointed that my character didn't even have a mustache on him, though. So we got some work to do there.
We're going to have to get them to fix that for the next time. But I look, and I know it wasn't obviously the result that you guys wanted, but what are you seeing from some of your young teammates that are getting a little bit more of an opportunity as you guys kind of look towards next season?
No, I think opportunity is the right word. Obviously, there's a lot of chances, a lot of ice time available, especially now with unfortunately the amount of injuries that we've had on key players. And I think guys are putting in the effort and really trying to show off their best foot. And like you said, obviously the results hasn't gone our way, but big picture, we're gonna have to try to look at the process. And obviously we got a bright future with a lot of the people here.
Yeah, we're talking to Filip Forsberg. And Philip, thanks for doing this. I know the season did not go the way you wanted to, and there's 7-8 games left in the regular season. But you still, and you know this, you're a veteran, but you still got to go and give 60 minutes, right? Because if you let up and there's nothing to play for, that's when you get hurt. That's when you get injured. So these games are still important, right? Even though you're out of the playoff chase.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, obviously injuries can happen at any point, but that's not necessarily something you focus on. But I think just you want to build the right way. Most of us are going to be back here next season, and we want to set some kind of standard. Obviously it hasn't been consistent enough over the season, but we played at moments really good and at moments not so good. And I think there's certainly a lot of things we need to keep working on, but that's kind of been the mindset of the last little bit since, we were eliminated from the playoffs, is just to build, a little bit of a foundation that we can make training camp, if anything, easier, when we come back in September.
I know this is a very simple question with a simple answer, but I want to ask anyway. I mean, losing sucks. I mean, and you've been in the playoff almost every year you've been here with Predators, but how much has this kind of just been awful, the way that it's turned out and everything? And we all know that at the end of the day, losing is not why you play the game, but it happens.
Yeah, no, you're right. It has it has sucked. It's definitely not something that we want to keep doing and do over and over again. And like you said, for the most part, we've been fortunate enough to earn a spot in the playoff and compete for the Stanley Cup, and to not be able to do that this early, so to speak. Obviously, it's already happened a few games ago. Is definitely not something that we ever want to do again. And it certainly has to be, we all have to look ourselves in the mirror, and anybody from the players to the staff to the management, and see what we all can do better going forward.
Filip Forsberg is with us. So, Phil, I was looking through some old pictures the other day, and I found some from 2013 when a 18-year-old joined the Nashville Predators for the first time. You came up to play 5 games after being acquired in the trade. What do you remember about that? I mean, it feels like forever ago, but it isn't that long ago.
Yeah, no, it's gone by quick, it feels like, but just at the time it was, obviously hectic with everything going on back home. We promoted with my team, my hometown team, to the top league. And then 2 days later, I got called in for my first ever men's national team call up. And then I think 2 days later from that, Nashville traded for me. So it was quite the week. And, I had to get my visa and all that kind of in order to come over and play. And obviously once I got here, it was unbelievable. It was being able to make my NHL debut was something, you always dream about. And, that dream changed destination a little bit pretty quick there from Washington to Nashville, obviously. But it was, the best thing that could happen to me. And looking back, all the things that has happened since, it's everything's been for a reason. And I couldn't be more grateful for how it all played out.
When you look back at that, that time, whether it's those 5 games or, any time that you spent in Milwaukee, just kind of the early days of your career, do you use that when you're, talking to a young guy that might be, discouraged that things aren't going the exact way that he wants? Do you kind of look back at your story, and even though everybody's story is different, and kind of use that in mentorship?
Yeah, I think you use all your experiences. Obviously there's certain things that I'm still learning, just from playing with guys, especially, Factor is the guy that I've been learning a lot from since he came in here last year. And then there's certain things that you can never, you're just, if you stop learning, it's on you, so to speak. So I'm always going to be looking to improve, whatever I can, even at this age. And if I can help any of the young fellas that we got coming up, I'm more than happy to do that.
Philip, these games, I know you've been in the league a long time, but they come fast and furious. If you're on the road, you're in Philadelphia, you're in Columbus, and now you're in Dallas. When do you have time to scout? When do you have time to scout Dallas? Today? Is that what you spend today doing?
No, today is a full day off. So we got, at least for the players, we obviously got our coaching staff and the video guys are doing their due diligence on Dallas, and I'm sure they already kind of know them. We played them enough over the years, and obviously they've had some personnel change, but the way they play is pretty similar. So thankfully it's we get handed all the information we need by our competent staff. So it's just a day off today.
So what's a day off in Dallas? I'd probably sleep 18 hours. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I used to be able to do that, but now with the kid, everything has changed a little bit. I'm up early, and I'm actually getting a little treatment now from our phenomenal medical staff. Shout out to them here, and then we'll see what the day takes.
Oh, I remember I don't think my daughter slept for the first 9 months of her life, so I totally get what you're through.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I had that problem. Unfortunately, Felix has been lucky to us, so I can't really feel. Yeah, I don't relate to that, but I'm sure we'll pay for that in what's coming here.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Filip Forsberg joins us here. Well, we'll let you get back to your treatment. I do want to say this, Phil, that, as we have said, obviously not the year you guys wanted, but the fact that you and your teammates are willing to do these and come on is really awesome. And your fans appreciate it. We appreciate it. You certainly don't have to take the time to do it, but we appreciate it. So thanks so much for joining us this season. Not sure if we'll have a chance to talk to you before the end of the year, but just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We're all going to be here when we turn this around too. So we gotta be there in the dark days for the sunny days to come. So we're all in this together.
Amen to that, my friend. Have a good day off, and we'll be watching tomorrow night.
Sounds great. Take care, guys.
Filip Forsberg joining us here on the program. And again, I mean that we always appreciate it. I know you, as listeners and fans, want to hear from these guys. And I thought, well said. I mean, you got to be there in the dark times to enjoy the sunny times.
And I just texted Philip and I said, hey, buddy, every storm runs out of rain. It's true. He texted back and said, who is this?
So, lose my number.
But he knew your name.
Yeah.
Look at you. I love this.
Mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things. Like Philip is one of those guys that I've literally covered him his entire career. So we kind of started at the same time. So.
I saw where he liked your LinkedIn about cloud storage.
Yeah, he wanted to be there, but he was busy.
He's kind of busy right now, right? Yeah. Perhaps you could take that talent you got to the NHL and say, hey, I'm certified in cloud storage. I'm just proud of you, man. You don't sit there. You always continue to improve yourself.
If I tell them that, they'll say, who are you? Get out.
No, they won't. Not at all.
So appreciate Philip. And again, they're back at it tomorrow night against the Dallas Stars down in Big D, starting at 6:00 with pregame. The puck drop just after 7 here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. They're back Sunday against Montreal. What
Montreal, right now you say
Montreal,
something like that.
Ian, I think we're going to give away a pair of tickets to go see the Preds and the Habs or the Canadians coming up with a 6:00 puck drop on Sunday. Caller number,
what number's 4?
I knew you were going to do that. All right, I hate to do this to you.
That's okay.
Caller number 9 in honor of Filip Forsberg. 615-737-1025. You will win a pair of tickets to see the Preds take on Montreal this Sunday at Bridgestone Arena. Good luck. More coming. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hey, this is perfect. This Saturday, don't miss Nashville Super Speedway's pre-race concert contest, Nashville's Next Rising Star at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row from 1 to 5. The contest will be emceed by the one and only, our very own, Nashville's media darling, Big Joe Dubin.
Louder. There we go.
Special guest DJ Mojo will keep the crowd hyped up all afternoon. For more details, just visit thegamenashville.com/events. How about this?
How about this?
So,
hey, how about that, Billy Ray Cyrus? Say something.
Here's what's funny. Reading this about Dierks Bentley, when I saw Dierks Bentley at CMA Fest a few years ago, he was doing his song "Drunk on a Plane," and he got to the third verse, and like the whole band stopped, and we're like, "What's going on?" And then "Don't Tell My Heart" starts as like that's the first thing you hear, and Billy Ray walks out and sings "Achy Breaky Heart." So
love it.
It was really, really cool. I want to mention, so our owner Bud Walters was just in here, telling us a story. 26 years ago today, our sister station, 102.9 The Buzz, became 102.9 The Buzz.
Since I can't add, what year would that be?
That would be 1999.
Okay.
April 2nd, 1999 at noon, the Buzz flipped from a country station to the rock station that it's known as today. And so happy 26th birthday to them. They now officially have to be off our insurance. So
I mean, the guy, today, it's Chase's day today. I mean, Philip Forsberg knows who he is. The owner walks in, knows who he is. I mean, come on.
To Chris Atticus, to Haley, to Dagwood, everybody involved with the Buzz, happy birthday.
All for it. That's actually pretty funny. Oh my goodness.
It's just, I mean, it is cool to be, the game's been around for
2011,
almost 14 years. So
I don't do math anymore.
Yeah,
so
I know.
By default.
We'll let you into it. But Buzz has obviously been a big brand in our city. And the story of how it flipped is pretty cool because
do tell, Chase.
There was another station that was a rock station, a historic one, WKDF, that flipped over to country. Buzz was a country station, and then subsequently the next day flipped to rock. So it was kind of took that torch and ran with it.
All coordinated or no?
No,
all kind of just happened.
It just happened. It's just one of those cool radio stories, man.
And it goes on and on, man.
Rock just happens, man.
Yeah, it does. And we're back.
So yeah. And again, appreciate Philip Forsberg for joining us.
I left off. Somebody texted me and said, "You guys, Kurt Russell's Herb Brooks in Miracle."
Yeah, that's pretty good. That might be up there.
I mean, that locker room scene.
Is
powerful.
Is Gene Hackman's character in Hoosiers based on a real person?
I think, yeah, right.
I think so
because the story did happen.
A lot of people, I know he kind of had some Bobby Knight vibes, but he's not Bobby Knight. But
yeah,
I think he is based off. I mean, there's others that are like loosely based off somebody. Some that are actually like it's a biopic.
Yeah. And you add people.
Yeah, it's loosely based.
Yeah,
off a true story. Hoosiers.
Yeah. Okay.
Loosely.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Hold on.
So I guess they took some creative liberties.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that. Yeah. Like
when they make the David Janes movie, he's going to play himself.
Didn't they mess up in Field of Dreams? Isn't Joe Jackson's character Ray Liotta threw left-handed and he was threw right-handed? Something along was messed up about that.
I don't know. Yeah. Ray Liotta was awesome in that.
That's a good movie.
That's another actor that's just
gone.
Yep. One of my favorites.
Because Goodfellas is on every night along with Tombstone every single night.
Look, Goodfellas is one of those movies that if it's on,
you're watching.
I will sit down and watch it.
And Casino and Shawshank and Tombstone. Yep. I mean, those are always on. And you throw a few good men in there as well, and they're all doing that.
The one cable one that always used to come on that The Fugitive.
Oh yeah. That's on.
That's one that comes on cable all the time. I always used to watch that one.
Yeah.
By the way,
I did not kill my wife.
U.S. Marshals gets a bad rap. Underrated.
As a sequel, huh?
I'm not a big Wesley Snipes fan, so I didn't think.
But Tommy Lee, man.
Yeah. But he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for The Fugitive.
Yeah, because probably because
and
of
I
one
think
scene.
he might have beat out Val Kilmer for Doc Holliday that year because it was
really?
like 93-ish right in there, and so I don't know.
I mean, the scene where he's like, the every penthouse, outhouse, hen house, like that. I love that scene.
It's good. I mean, but I still, George C. Scott as General Patton is up there. Kurt Russell's Herb Brooks, but
I feel like we're forgetting a big one that we haven't said yet.
I tried to go
sports
down,
or just in general.
Just in general,
historical figure, yeah, acting wise, that was.
Who was Brian's song?
That was he was in the Godfather.
James Caan. James Caan, yeah,
it was
he
good.
was Brian Piccolo, right?
Yep, it was a good movie. And then played Gale Sayers, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah,
had
him on.
I had Billy D. on, and he was. They won't talk much about Brian's song. Not much about anything else either that happened in the world.
Do we ever run that?
Yeah, because we did get him talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Billy D. Williams. I think that was before Star Wars.
Oh yeah, because he was in Empire Strikes Back, right?
Yeah, that was the first
which came out in '80. Yeah.
No, Empire was 79. I think.
Okay.
79 or 80. McGaffick math.
One of those years in there, but sports wise, I'm not sure. What did Barry Pepper again? He did. Was he Mantle or Maris? Was he Roger Maris in one of those good movies that he did that?
I'll tell you. Who was it? What's the name of the guy? He was on NCIS New Orleans too, but he played Pee Wee Reese, I think, in 42. You know what I'm talking about?
Lucas.
Yeah, something like
Lucas
that.
Black. Is that his name?
Is that his name? I don't know. He was
in
good.
Sling Blade too.
Yep, that's it. Lucas Black.
Lucas Black. Yeah. Hair Metal Henry said Faye Dunaway was great as Joan Crawford.
Oh yes, Mommy Dearest. About the wire hangers. Yes, that's a really good one.
You're thinking of Barry Pepper in 61 as Roger Maris.
Yes, it was really good.
Thank you, Thomas. Whoever played Freddie Mercury, a lot of people have said that.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
What's his
the
name?
new one? The new movie that came out?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, he's in. It was an iRobot. The actor. God, my brain is gone today.
Is Aaron Brockovich a real story?
Yes.
So somebody said Julia Roberts.
She won.
Aaron Brockovich. Rami Malek.
That's it. Rami Malek. Yeah. He did really good as Freddie Mercury.
Waylon Payne was Jerry Lee Lewis in Walk the Line.
Waylon Payne. He did
his dad, Jody Payne, was Willie Nelson's guitar player for 40 years. And his mom is country singer Sammy Smith.
Holy cow. A lot of connections right
according
there.
To
our amazing texters.
Yeah.
That goes on. I think we're leaving out a sports one, aren't we?
Probably. Oh, here's a good one. Michael Keaton is Ray Kroc and founder about McDonald's.
That's a good movie. It's a very good movie. What about Will Ferrell and Semi-Pro?
Somebody said Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's not
a historical figure.
Moneyball. I don't know if that really counts. But that's, Miracle brought that up. What's the Philly guy?
I mean,
with
Brad
Mark
Pitt
Wahlberg.
was pretty good in Moneyball, but I don't know if
Vince Papaya, whatever.
Rudy. Yeah. That's not true. I don't
Do you remember? Again, this is probably loosely based on a true story. The movie The Perfect Storm with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. John C. Reilly's in that.
He sure is. Mm-hmm. And Diane Lane.
Diane Lane.
Yeah.
That's right. His girlfriend.
Yeah. Good movie.
That's a heartbreaking movie.
It is.
I don't like
but I think that is based on a true story.
Yeah. It was a storm that hit the Northeast. A perfect storm.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. The end of that movie is like
awful.
It's
just awful. And the warden from Shawshank is in that too. They rescue him right before.
Oh yeah.
The Coast Guard.
He's really good. Here Denzel is Malcolm X.
Yes, that's good.
Yep. It's a good one.
Really good. Denzel. That was an excellent role.
Roger Moore played a great Roger Moore in the Cannonball Run.
He did do that. Is that from Hair Metal Henry?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, you've hit your text quota for today.
And then I just know we're leaving a sports one. I'm trying to go down the NBA. No.
I mean, some of the sports history biopics that keep coming up are like, remember the Titans?
No.
Nah, it doesn't really quite work.
I mean, that's based on a true story.
Yeah. I mean, Denzel was good in that.
Denzel was great. Yeah, that movie's awesome.
There's a couple of Olympic ones. We brought up Miracle. Some other 42 is on there.
Yep.
So nothing really stands out as like, oh, we're missing one huge, but we'll keep looking.
I just for some reason I keep feeling like there's one we haven't named. The Hanson brothers in Slapshot.
That's a good one.
We Are Marshall. That's in there.
Somebody said, Kevin from Union City said Dennis Quaid is Jerry Lee Lewis, which we talked about, and also is Ronald Reagan.
I did not see the Ronald Reagan, but
I haven't seen it
really
yet.
Good.
I was looking for a movie to watch the other day, and I ended up watching 13 Days. But
yeah,
Ali for Will Smith. He played Muhammad Ali. That was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray. Jamie Foxx is Ray Charles.
Won Academy Award. Good. It's a really good role.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. Yeah, that's another one. I don't know. It's good. I'll think about it at 11:01. I'm like, oh yeah, that one movie. What about Cole Trickle?
Cinderella Man, awesome movie. Yeah,
that was Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are good. Again,
well, they say the greatest was Jake LaMotta and Robert De Niro, Raging Bull. They said that's the greatest sports role.
That was good
of all time. I don't know. It just sucks. I think they're all great, but I think Kilmer as Doc Holliday is that's the one. It's just tough.
These are good. And that's been our question of the day in honor of Val Kilmer, who passed away at the age of 65. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. It's time for the 4th annual 615 Open Charity Golf Tournament. We love doing this. Excited to be doing it again. Cromwell Media, along with Fox 17, Outfront Media, and Social Indoor, are proud to announce that it's going to be back at Hermitage Golf Course. We love Hermitage. Thursday, May 29th, to make a difference while having a great time. You can join us and a few guest media members, athletes, and musicians as we raise money for Folds of Honor. Donations will go to provide life-changing scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Just sign up to play or sponsor at 615open.com. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. This week's Nashville's best deal comes from Bad Axe Throwing Nashville, downtown's largest axe throwing venue, and your go-to spot for food, fun, and vibes. Enjoy panoramic views of the city, a killer soundtrack, craft cocktails from the full bar, and a Northwoods-inspired menu with a southern twist. This week, score half off a $50 gift card while supplies last. Joe, do you know how much that would be? Head to thegamenashville.com/deals and grab yours now.
I'm done with math. I'm done.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. Celebrity Birthdays is brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards, wide-ranging fire protection, sprinkler systems, extinguishers, kitchen hood suppression. Visit them at jarrettcompaniesinc.com.
Were you looking at me to go? I think that
I was looking at Sean Ford, our GM, behind you, making faces at me.
Just making sure.
You were good.
Okay. April 2nd, right? Yes.
That is today, yeah.
National DIY Day.
Do it yourself. Nice.
Yeah, all the handyman out there, especially when it comes to the cloud. Good
right.
there. It is.
And the clouds, apparently.
Okay, here we go. Child Help National Day of Hope. So
Okay.
sounds like it could be inspirational. Yes. This is interesting here. Never been a huge fan of these guys. National Ferret Day.
For all
well,
ferrets?
Maybe they haven't been fans of yours.
Yeah, that's quite possible. I don't know. As a pet ferret.
I heard they're cute, but
They're
I
cool.
don't know.
They're smart too.
Yeah, I don't know. Look a little.
They can probably do basic math.
He said that. Okay, it is National Walking Day.
It's important.
The first Wednesday in April, I suppose. So even 20 minutes a day, it's good for your heart.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little walk. It's great.
What else is good for your heart? Are beans.
Yep. Yeah.
And they're also good for other things I've heard.
Yeah.
National Reconciliation Day.
Oh, that's good.
And then actually kind of this one I could get on board with. National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
Ooh.
Oh, heck yeah.
I do like
PB&J, a little old school.
Yeah. I like a good PB&J.
Oh, yeah.
So did the king.
Yeah. Apparently.
He did.
Is that it?
Yeah, for
All
the most part. Yep.
Good job.
Hey, I go to Publix down here in Memphis. Give me some PB&J.
Did he like bananas on his?
Yeah, he did.
And honey?
That
maybe?
he was
Some type of. I thought there was a fried sandwich in there too.
Something,
that I used to
yeah.
like.
all
Was it
that.
fried PB&J
Yeah.
or fried bologna, something. I don't know.
All right, time for celebrity. I got so many jokes off that, but I like
I know,
my
yeah.
job. I'm just going to shut my mouth. Time for celebrity birthdays. You have to get these within 2 years. Our first celebrity birthday lives right here in Nashville. The talented, the beautiful Emmylou Harris.
63.
66.
78. Wow. From one of those Law and Order shows, Christopher Maloney. Was he also in The Runaway Bride? I think he was going to be married to her in The Runaway Bride. I
Doesn't
think.
ring a bell.
58.
62.
64. Ian Saffer's up 1-0. Going down here. I have like these, like you
Ian Saffer.
You ever heard of Clark Gregg, the actor? No.
Yeah.
Have you?
I have.
What's he in?
He's in the Marvel movies. He's Coulson. He's Agent Coulson.
All right. Today's Clark Gregg's birthday.
Yeah.
How old is he?
From
Agents
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yeah. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
60.
55.
63.
Dang.
So close. Pedro Pascal. Isn't he in The
He's an
Mandalorian?
Yeah. He's the Mandalorian, right?
I've actually apparently yes, but I
Yeah,
haven't seen
okay.
that.
42.
50.
50 exactly.
Wow, nice.
Saffer up 3-0.
Shut up, Ian.
Actor
Ian
Michael Fassbender.
Excuse you?
He's been in some of y'all little nerd movies.
I've heard the name.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
have
picture
too.
a face though.
45.
What movie is he in? I'm sorry.
He was in that one movie that played in the theaters.
Okay. Michael.
I don't know.
What'd you say, Chase? 45?
45, yeah.
I'll go 42.
48. You got on the other way, buddy. Actress Linda Hunt. She's was in the movie The Year of Living Dangerously with Mel Gibson. Also at NCIS LA. Short little lady.
Oh, yeah. $80.
What was her name? I'm sorry.
Linda Hunt.
$70.
She's 80 exactly. Chaser up. Chaser down now 3-2. Buddy Jewel, country singer. Hey now.
54.
60.
64. Billy Dean, the singer.
62.
Never heard of him.
Heard of you.
65.
63. We're tied at 3. Chasers come back on this. Adam Rodriguez from CSI Miami. He grew up with Keith Bullock.
48.
46.
50. Chasers storm back up 4-3. Country singer Chris Jansen.
If he could buy him a boat.
He could, right?
For 52.
40.
39. We're tied at 4.
Nice.
I love this. Actor Jesse Plemons. He was Todd in Breaking Bad, one of the most despicable TV characters of all time.
49.
40.
37. Tied at 4. Then go our sports birthdays now. Former Clemson coach, won the national championship, Danny Ford.
78.
75.
77. Chaser up 5-4. One of the dirtiest NFL players of all time, Bill Romanowski.
God, he was dirty.
Yeah. Also doesn't answer his phone when he says he will. Had him booked 3 times. Let's see. I'm going to say 56.
58.
59. Tied at 5, our last birthday. Golfer Rory Sabatini. How old is Rory?
74.
60.
49.
Nice.
We're going to leave it at a tie. You two don't deserve to win this.
Thanks.
So tied at 5. Well
All right.
done, both of you guys.
Okay.
Don't be upset at me for things I haven't done.
Nothing should ever end in a tie.
Well,
But
this
that's
game
fine.
does.
That's whatever. You
Then
make the rules up as you go.
You need to go and table this or whatever they do down in the owners' meetings because this is always going to be.
We don't want to deal with this today. You want to table it till next time? Yeah, that's good with me.
It's going to be a dictatorship for celebrity birthdays. Going forward.
That is going to do it for us. Stay safe today. Keep it locked here. We will keep an eye on the weather and let you know. But it could get a little bumpy later today.
As we always leave our show to our guys out there, if you are struggling, please go talk to someone. Dial or text 988 on your cell phone. Please do that. I'm telling you all the time, our world is a better place because you are in our lives. Know that. Know that we love you. And more importantly than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.